If you look around you, it's a little scanty this morning. For whatever reason, I hope everybody is doing okay this morning. I hope that your mental health is in the right place. All right, welcome to the program this morning. My name is Mavis Atudume. This is Volt 104.3 FM, and this is High Voltage. And of course, this morning we will be looking at newspaper reviews. We are going to be looking at top stories that made major headlines this morning in the news, uh, also during the weekend. So we are going to do like a compilation reviews this morning. You know what to do. We will give you a time to call into the program to share your views, analysis, and contributions with us this morning. Tell us how you're feeling, and also tell us any of the headlines that you'd like to comment on, and of course, give us your reviews. And remember that you are to keep your comments simple, civil, and clean so that we do not break any laws while we are trying to do what is rather right. So I will reel out the numbers when I will open up the phone lines. Right now, I'm going to go into reeling out the headlines to you from several channels this morning and from several news outlets this morning. I'll be telling you what's going on around the country, and of course maybe some of the stories that you missed Saturday and Sunday. We'll be catching up on all of that this morning, so stay tuned. My name is Mavis Atudume. Let's go straight to the Vanguard news this morning. The federal government's zero import duty policy faces fresh hurdles amid inflation crisis. All right, that's federal government's zero import duty policy faces fresh hurdles amid inflation crisis. That's one of the first stories on the Vanguard news this morning. Also on the Vanguard this morning, high cost of toothpaste. Nigerians return to chewing sticks. All right, high cost of toothpaste. Nigerians return to chewing sticks. That's on the Vanguard news this morning. Also, National Assembly moves to reintroduce 5% excise duty on telecom and betting services. National Assembly moves to reintroduce 5% excise duty on telecom and betting services. All right, that's on the Vanguard news this morning. All right, only urgent neck meeting will avert implosion. PDP ex officio members warn. That's still on the news this morning. All right, leaders appoint Moghalu president of African School of Governance. Leaders appoint Moghalu president of African School of Governance. All right, let's see if there's something more interesting that we can pick up this morning on the Vanguard before we move. Tinubu to Oyebanji, I'll stand by you. Right, that's on his comment this morning. And also, lastly, on the Vanguard News, civil war. You supervised Igbo massacre, IPOB replies, go on. Ex-president Yakubu Gowon celebrated his 90th birthday over the weekend, and it has packed all kinds of controversy. Also, one of the people to receive major backlash for Yakubu Gowon's felicitation note, where he was trying to celebrate General Gowon's birthday with him. I guess Peter Obi made some comments that most Nigerians disagreed with, and of course he has received backlash over these comments. We will get to that later on in the show this morning. But of course, let's move over to the Daily Post. Let's talk about the headlines on the Daily Post this morning. Nigerians tackle Tinubu for using proposed youth conference to divert attention from failed policies. We'll take that again. Nigerians tackle President Tinubu for using proposed youth conference to divert attention from failed policies. That's on the news this morning. And also yesterday is the memorial of the NSAS protest, happened on October 20th, 2020. A sad day in Nigeria, a really, really sad day in Nigeria. And yesterday, people commemorated the anniversary of the dear Nigerian lives that were tragically lost at the Lekki toll gate in October 2020. We we grieve with their families, we grieve as a nation for those poor souls, and we pray that they find peace, and we pray that they rest in God's peace. All right, and of course, in that the memorial is on the news. Okay, we were beaten, brutalized by the police. Protesters cry out, and it seems that those who tried to commemorate the event and tried to do a peaceful protest around the Lekki toll gate axis yesterday were also picked up by security agents and, of course, put in Black Marias and taken to unknown locations. But we will try to find out what's really going on and if they are being prosecuted or anything like that. But yes, that's what's going on in the news this morning. Also, in the news on the Daily Post, Biafra go on could have prevented civil war and Igbo killings, says Sam Amadi. All right. The birthday celebration of ex-president Yakubu Gowon has sparked a lot of emotions in the Nigerian people, and it's a lot going on. But you can catch up on all the stories on any of these news outlets, and of course you can also follow High Voltage live on YouTube. You just go to High Voltage News on YouTube and you'll be directed straight to our page where we need you to like, subscribe, and share so that you'll be able to catch up on all the top stories and breaking news as they drop, all right, all around the country from everywhere. Okay, so let's talk about scraping of the EFCC. Femi Falana declares stance on move by 16 states. All right, so if you want more details on that story, please, you can go to the news outlets. We're getting this from the Daily Post this morning. These are the certified news carriers in this country, so we will try to give you from certified outlets because that is what we do here. All right, Nigeria supplies 24-hour electricity to Togo, Benin Republic, and Niger. This is coming from the TNC. Okay, so that's on the news this morning. Jigawa tanker explosion. Workout alternative means of transporting petroleum products. IPAC says to the Nigerian government. I don't know if you heard about the Jigawa tanker explosion. It was a tragic event. Up to 100 plus people lost their lives on that tragic accident on Friday morning in Jigawa, and we hope that some of their families are able to find their loved ones that were involved in that. And also, this warning has been sounded to Nigerians over the years to not risk their lives going to tamper with tankers and vessels that are carrying petroleum products. This is unbelievable. How do you lose your life for something so fickle? It doesn't make any sense. I wish we would do better as a people. 100 plus people lost their lives and so many injured because they couldn't resist to take their eyes off of something that was just doesn't make any sense. Why would you go to a siphon petroleum that had fallen? It doesn't even make any sense. Please, I will try to encourage our people to stop doing things like this. It's a risk to your life. We would rather elect credible leaders or hold our leaders to account or hold them to transparency instead of resorting to these behaviors. They are risking our own lives. It doesn't make any sense. We should try to do better. Let's see if we can move over to the Punch newspaper this morning and see what we can gather there. Petrol marketers import 123 meters of liters, all right, and of course continues talk with Dangote. So petrol marketers import 123 million liters of petroleum and continues talks with Dangote. We hope, I don't hope, okay, they've got us by the balls. I don't want, they can do their thing. We hope something else happens and we can find a breathing space. All right. Join politics to decide your fate. Governor Alex Oti of Abia State tells youth, and that's what's on the news this morning. Nigeria supplies Togo, Benin Republic, and of course Niger 24-hour power supply, says the TCN. This information is coming very backhandedly, considering that we've had the national grid fall for the ninth time this year. And of course, we've had like three falls in the past 1 week, and we keep getting the bare minimum. I wonder whom we offended. We keep getting the bare minimum, but that's what it is. That's what it seems. And that's what's on the news this morning. Let's go to other reports on the news this morning. Sahara reporters terrorists attack Kassina community, killed two, kidnapped APC chairman. All right, this happened yesterday. That's what's on the news. And let's pick up a couple more from the weekend. On the Vanguard, lack of electricity is killing businesses in Nigeria, says Femi Adeshina. Okay, also from the Vanguard this morning, you already heard this. The high cost of toothpaste has caused Nigerians to return to chewing sticks. That's what's going on this morning. Don't forget, it's time to join the program. You can call straight into the studio to react to any of these headlines this morning. Share your reviews, thoughts, and contributions with us this morning. You can call into the studio and you can also send us a text message. Don't forget to also follow us on YouTube. This program is live right now on YouTube. It's High Voltage News. All right, and you'll be able to join us. Also, continue the conversation on Facebook at Vote 1043 FM. Let's talk to you. Good morning. Are you there? Good morning. Oh, you're welcome, sir. Okay, sir. Mm. You will go back to chewing sticks. Why? Okay, why is that? Okay. Uh, uh, uh. But, but, Mr. Boniface, is this our answer to every problem we have? Is this our answer to all of our problems? Okay, okay. Isn't it shocking? Isn't it shocking? Yeah. Thank you very much, Mr. Obonufe. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. We sell petroleum. We oil producing state. We're not able to buy its cost. It's too expensive. It's unbelievably expensive. And also we give electricity to other people, 24 hours electricity to other neighboring countries, and we don't have it. We've never had it here. Unbelievable things happen around us, but I don't know. But you can share your views and thoughts this morning on any of the headlines. Call 0706 048 5853. Also call 0915 570 8347. Okay? Call 0706 048 5853. Also call 0915 570 8347 to drop your comments, views, and contributions on any of those headlines. We will be going over them one after the other to see if we can make sense of what's going on. When do you catch a break around here? You would wish that you'd wake up one day and somebody says something good. Good morning. You're welcome, sir. Your name and location, please. Hello? Are you there? All right, something is probably going on with your line over there. Sorry about that. Do well to call back. The numbers to call are 0706 048 5853. Also call 0915 570 8347. All right, don't forget you can send a text message or a WhatsApp message to any of these numbers in case you cannot reach us live in the studio this morning. But if you dial those numbers, I'm sure that you're able to get through. The lines are open. Also, coming from one of the headlines from ex-governor Ojuzo Kalu and senator of the Federal Republic, one of the comments he made during his live interview on television, which has also caused a lot of reactions from the Nigerian public, is where he mentioned that 14 million naira is too little for senators. And of course, he said that these 14 million uh, naira salary he claims that they are paid is not enough. These senators have made their politics their career and they earn no more income outside politics. All right, so he makes a claim that the politicians we have here are all career politicians with nothing else to do. So he's claiming that since they have no other source of income, out of 14 million naira, 9.8 million goes to staff salaries. This is not enough, and that is the truth coming from Ojuzo Kalu. And of course, this is a snippet from his interview on Arise TV, and Nigerians have reacted to this. And of course, they are still some of the highest earning state servants in anywhere in the country. And of course, Senator Ojuzo has made a claim that they are all career politicians who have nothing else to do. Could that be the reason why we are experiencing the country we are experiencing right now? Because we have taken people who have turned our politics into a means of livelihood and not actually a system or a process that is meant to take care of the Nigerian people. So, from the sound of Senator Ojuzo Kalu, it means that we are employing people who are serving themselves in our government. This is all that they do. Could that be the reason why we are experiencing this level of mismanagement, this level of carelessness, this level of callousness in our political system? It's unbelievable the things that we are dealing with here. Ondo State Governor Ayeti, Ayedatiwa awards 31 billion, that is 31 billion naira contract to build new High Court complex. And of course, he has allocated 1.2 billion to renovate the government house and of course the VIP lodge amid economic hardship. This is not one of the renovation processes we've seen in the last 1 year in this country. There's been a lot of billions of Nigerian naira diverted into reconstructing uh, buildings in this administration amid hunger and starvation that is engulfing the Nigerian people. It seems the government, that is state governors, even federal government in its capacity, are more interested in infrastructure and constructing or renovating properties that are already in usable existence. Like there's nothing wrong with them, they just need like a new facelift. And we've seen billions of Nigerian naira uh, transmitted to these ventures, transmitted to these projects, and one wonders, are these really priorities? I am sure that in this governor's state, this is not the biggest problem that his state is encountering. The governor of Ondo State, I'm thinking that 31 billion naira being diverted to build a new high court complex it's not priority for the people of Ondo State. But we've seen this sort of behaviors at a time like this, where we're hoping that public servants and people in government will be looking for ways to try to help the Nigerian people manage all of this trouble that is engulfing us all. But instead, we've seen just infrastructure for hungry people. What exactly is the plan? When the people cannot afford food, and then we keep building these structures and keep building these infrastructure, what's the plan? What's the game plan? I want to understand what the plan is. And then, of course, the World Bank has reiterated its claim that Nigerians should not complain about the economic reforms that the government of the day is taking. And that, of course, these reforms need to happen for another 10 years, World Bank says. And that if we do not do this for another 10 years, it declares doom for Nigeria. I find it difficult to wrap my head around um, another kind of doom we might be in, other than what we already have on ground. If we sink any lower than this, it's quite something I wouldn't want to imagine. But that seems to be what's happening at the moment with our country right now. Now, let's also look at what's happening with the nation. This is from the federal. The minimum requirement for someone who wants to contest for office of the president, legislative house, is secondary school living certificate. And that is why you have an SSCE holder formulating laws for professor. This is coming from IPAC chairman Alhaji Yusuf Dantale. Okay, so he's everybody is trying to make sense of what is happening, and of course, looking at his point of view, he has some points. All right, the minimum requirement for someone who wants to contest for office of the president, legislative house, is secondary school leaving certificate. Okay, that is why you have an SSCE holder formulating laws for professors. All right, you can comment on any of these headlines or the stories that we're reading out to you this morning. Share your views, contributions, and analysis with us this morning on this program. All right, remember to keep your comments clean, simple, and civil so that we don't break any laws or rules while we're trying to do the right thing. Okay, call 0706 5853. Also call 0915 570 8347. Good morning to you. Yes, good morning, sir. You're welcome, sir. Yes, sir. Mm. Mm. Mm.
What's it called? Professor Lumumba, the man from Kenya. When you listen to this man or you watch his videos, my dear, you will know that the West is our biggest problem. And that is why this World Bank was created. The World Bank and IMF, they were created to just keep Africa
But
where
but
we are
but
today.
but, but
You
wait a
know,
wait a
I'm
minute.
telling
But
you the honest truth.
wait a minute, my
If,
good man. This
yes,
the fact
yes,
that we cannot buy food in our markets, you are saying that even if the West, even if they hated us so much, even if they are a problem, are you saying that even our brothers whom we have put in charge, despite bias, even if they are allegedly biased or being puppeted by
yeah.
the West, are you saying that there isn't enough kindness that we would at least want our people to feed or to be able to buy food? You know, I'm not talking about
No,
embezzlement and, of course, siphoning funds and all of that. I'm
yes,
saying the
yes.
economic condition of this country, the mental health of this nation. I'm saying, does it mean that our politicians cannot do anything to at least keep us feeding, despite ignorant, but at least would they try to let the people eat? That's what I'm wondering. Are the
Let me,
West, after the fact that we cannot feed ourselves?
you know our problem. You know our
Mm,
problem.
mm,
Our problem is that they put people who have committed one problem, one serious crime or the other in power, so they hold the evidence to nail such person down. So when they tell you to do this, you have to do that because if you fail to do that, they are going to bring out whatsoever you have done before the public, and they will make sure that they will follow it up to nail you down.
mm,
You understand? So in
mm,
this matter, you are forced to be enslaved by these people. That is why we have wrong people leading us because those people who are leading us, they have nothing to offer. And yes, the government cannot, the people cannot do anything because those who have sent them, like the West, keep suppressing every means we have. Those politicians, some of them do have heart, actually, but they are forced to lie against us. They are forced to lie and lead us wrongly. Because, okay, look at Argentina. The president just took power last year, right?
mm-hmm.
Look at the way he has transformed the place. Why have
Shocking.
IMF not told him to withdraw his, all his actions and follow their own path? Why are
Mm,
they not controlling the Asians like the China and India? Why are they not controlling the West? Why is it only Africa? And look at the way you are impoverishing people, and you are telling us that we are in urgent poverty, and you are telling us that in the next 15 years that we will start. How many people will live and survive with that 15 years? You
it's
know, they
worth.
have tried several ways to kill Africa, but it's not working, and they are using our politicians to kill us with hunger and kill us with a lot of things. You know, people are dying, people are committing suicide because of bad policies. All our problems from the West. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much, my good man. Try to have a good day ahead of you. Drop your comments and contributions with us this morning. Call live into the studio, send us a text message or a WhatsApp message to share your views and thoughts with us this morning. It's good when we talk about these things, we share perspectives, we share angles to our thought processes. This thing that my last caller just said, kind of like resonates in a very weird way. You know, questionable characters running things. Is there a reason why that is? And is there a reason why we don't like people who probably, let's say, have cleaner slates? You know, it's worth worrying about. Good morning.
Message, good morning.
Good morning, my good man.
Yeah, just
You're welcome, sir.
maybe to this every month,
Mm,
the state accountant general, this accountant general, every day they rush to Abuja
mm-hmm,
to collect their monthly allocation.
mm-hmm.
Is it the World Bank that are in charge of that money?
I'm asking too. I'm
The crude,
standing. I'm
the crude
standing on
that
that
we
question
sell,
with you.
the crude that we sell, the
Mm-hmm,
proceeds from it, is
mm-hmm,
it in the hands of the IMF or World Bank?
mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Is it in their hands? People should stop being sentimental. See, we have a problem at hand. What is our problem? We have bad leaders. Is it them? Is it the World Bank that will siphon the money that we are giving to you to build roads? Is it them? It is we that is at the access of our own problem. So let nobody blame an outsider because Nigeria is an independent country. I don't know if you're getting me.
Nigeria is an independent country.
It's our people. See, since we don't want to get things right, we keep suffering. We keep suffering. Okay, yeah, now this year now, do you know that budgets have been budgeted for roads, for infrastructure, for this and that?
Oh yes.
Yeah, okay, go and check how many percent compliance. Go and check.
But nobody says anything. Nobody reacts to this thing. The people in the House of the Representatives, the senators, nobody, the judiciary, nobody talks about these things. Why is
Okay.
that?
Why should our lawmakers be collecting those bogus amounts of money? Is it the one bank that are collecting those money?
300% increase on all salaries and allocations and allowances.
And we are
Unbelievable.
here, crying that the economy is bad. The economy, we should have patience. The president said we should have patience. We should be patient with them. See, nobody should blame an outsider. We are the architect of our own problem. And until we decide to get it right, we will keep like this. We will keep being in this position, swimming around this. I tell you, if look at the budget, if they can have 80 or 75% of the budget, if they can do up to 85 to 80% of it, I tell you, you and I will not be crying. If roads that are budgeted, if money that are budgeted for health, education, security, all are utilized, I tell you, we won't be crying foul. At the end of the day, those money will come back to them. And next year, they start those the same budget that we have this year. They will start it the next year. And the money keeps coming to them.
Justice, I have a problem. Does it mean that as we are as a nation, there is nobody that can be called to bear consequence for their actions? We can't hold people accountable. So these activities that you explained that keep happening year after year and after year, there is nobody that can be held responsible for them. Nobody can bear consequences for this kind of behaviors in this country.
And that is why I still love my cap for the late Yaradua, President Yaradua. He asked them to return all the spent money to the treasury. One minister refused to do that. He shared the money. And the woman, you know the story, you know the history. And the woman went in for it. He was prosecuted. See, until you have the right leaders who will do things, we don't have leaders. What we keep bringing are those we have greeders. These are what we have. In this, no, we have greeders. If there's any word like that, they are greed and greed and greed. Their greed and covetousness is so enormous that Oh God. Let's just not leave this way. So nobody should push the blame. The blame is always on us until we decide to get the right thing. And I believe one day someone will wake up and say this is wrong and the right thing will be done. Unless we do so, we
Hopefully.
keep swimming. We keep swimming.
Hopefully.
Good morning.
Thank you. Thank you, Justice. Good morning, and try to have a good day as well. We are looking at all of these things that are happening to us. It seems that, amid this unbelievable hunger and harsh economic strife that the country is experiencing, state governors and, of course, government, even at the federal level, are spending very outrageous sums of billions and billions of naira on buildings and constructions. We don't necessarily see any effort or a lot of effort being committed to reducing these economic hardship as we have observed. It seems like leadership is something that is written in stone. It seems this particular hardship, they are trying to tell us that if this does not happen, something bad, what will happen? What will happen if we are not scraping and scratching to feed our children? What do you mean we need to do this for 10 years? And sometimes I struggle to wrap my head around the kind of statements that that is allowed to be said to the Nigerian people. Is there no limit to the insinuated mockery and almost insolence? How do you tell a country like this that it needs to do this for another 10 years? Is this oblivion? Or is someone not really understanding the actual state of things? Because it seems we have a communication problem here. Why would anybody think that we need to do this for another 10 years? What level of mathematics is that? Who does this kind of mathematics? The World Bank. I'm expecting that those are professionals, statisticians. I'm assuming that these are economics professionals. How do you make this kind of economic math?
Hello?
Good morning to you.
Good morning.
You're welcome, sir.
Yes. I'm Moses, the code, the current from
You're welcome, sir.
Yes. I want to say that, first of all, going back to see, I think is the alternative. Just, in all things, we are looking for way out these days. So, because the way things are going, if you don't have some way to navigate out of this problem, maybe that is it will be more disastrous. So I think going back to 26 is the way to go. Then go on at 9,
Yes, sir.
celebrating his 90th birthday. Why he did this country what he did is too bad. Then Odjus Okalo, I think he is one of the worst thing that is happening to Nigeria and to Igbo land. Why I say so is that we remember that Odjus Okalo has a case. You know how he's supposed to be lavishing in prison today, but they did it their way, and he's out. And he's telling us that 14 million naira is not doing anything for them. Maybe he want them to make it 100 million. It's too bad. It's too bad. While some of his classmates, maybe people who are more educated than him, who is doing this thing, that is who helped him during the school time, are not gaining up to 70,000. It is not anything special to all of these people. They are not doing anything to solve this problem. But he is telling us that 14 million naira. That is not all his pension and every other thing he's getting as a former governor. It's too bad. Then Oti, I want to support people. Because when people like Oti say something, I think I should take him serious.
Okay.
Encouraging youth to go into politics.
Yes.
I think with his pedigree and with what he has been doing in other states, I think he is encouraging people, and people should embrace his advice. So let me stop so far, but let people use this opportunity, especially now that he is governor and he is doing well. will determine whatever will be happening as people are threatening to sack him or to do whatever they will do in 2027. If people know what they're supposed to do, I think they will help to fight those who are trying to fight him and maintain good governance in Adam State. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mo. Thank you for calling the show. Do try to have a good day ahead of you. We are analyzing headlines this morning. React, share your contributions and comments with us this morning. Please keep your comments simple, civil, and clean. I appreciate my callers. You know the rules, and thank you for keeping them. This is where we find ourselves. The World Bank, with their very, very important advice to the government and, of course, to the Nigerian people, encouraging the way things are going here. It's unbelievable that anybody would think that this is something to be encouraged. These shocking hikes on everything, except means of livelihood. You know, you're not paying the minimum wage that you agreed to pay. The minimum wage cannot purchase some of the grounding items in this country. It's sad to see. We cannot afford medical care. Transportation is an unbelievable conversation in this country, and nobody wants to talk about how people are going to move themselves during the Christmas celebration. I am so disappointed with the state governors in this country. Their reaction to what is going on is quite saddening to see, quite shameful to say the least. It's sad to see that everybody is keeping quiet. Just last week, we saw the House of Representatives screaming on the top of their voice, reverse this, reverse that. You would think that they just woke up from, this sudden sleep and someone just snapped them and said, wake up, some things are not going right. And we just saw these things in the headlines, and that's it. Nobody is called for questioning, but we saw VDM and Bobrisky walk into our National Assembly for a probe. We're not seeing people who are embezzling our funds being called to question. We're not seeing accountability. We're not seeing a clear indication that corruption is not acceptable in this country. But instead, we have seen a brazen boldness and a brazen audacity of corruption and misbehavior in this country. Even up until today, Yahaya Bello has not been able to be picked up by the security agencies. And speaking of security agencies, they have been in the news for all levels of harassment and embarrassment of the Nigerian people, and these behaviors are just uncanny. We are tired. We are tired. Are we trying to set the country back? What's the plan? Nobody seems to be saying anything. We're not seeing these emergency meetings that are being called when unimportant things are, said to happen. But when we need our people to get up, to stand up and do right by us, we are not seeing these reactions. What we see is a docility and a silence and almost an arrogance to it. You wonder, is this on purpose? Is this some tactic? The effort seems to be put more into ensuring that the state of the people does not improve. It makes you wonder if this is all an act of strategy. Is this a plan? Does someone have a plan for Nigeria that we cannot see sitting down here? Why would anybody tell you that this should be encouraged for the next 10 to 15 years as a plan for economic boost? Who does this? With businesses shutting down in this country, families cannot afford to send their children to school. People are pulling their kids from schools and sending them into extramural classes instead because they cannot afford school fees. Have you gone out in the streets to find out what is going on with your constituents? You are overtaxing the people. The state governors are pressing the people on the neck. The National Assembly this morning has, just put out another 5% increase in excise duty for telecos. And of course, the betting companies. I don't care what they do with the betting companies. Take them away. It's not anything to help the community in any way. So scrap that. But I am for fixing this place, doing the right thing, fixing the country so that it works. When it works, your children can get jobs. Your children can get jobs that can pay them. And let's build our community. Children who don't have jobs, young people who don't have jobs, they can't even afford to go into entrepreneurship where they can even start small scale businesses because you're shutting them down by the numbers with your policies, with your bank loans, with your money, with the naira loss, with the weakness of the naira. You are killing businesses with this lack of electricity and uh, excess electric bills. The electric hike, people cannot transport their goods and services. They can't even move themselves to go run the business. So you are setting up a ground for shrinking. You are shrinking the economy on purpose. You are shrinking the economy on purpose. And I say this because the president himself said he wants to reduce the purchasing power of the people. That is not a statement that is a joke. And we have seen this particular administration do and take steps, deliberate steps to really, really reduce the purchasing power of the people. And it's not reduced at this point. At this point, we are going bankrupt as a people. Go to the market, it's empty. People cannot afford to eat and feed their families. Eggs are selling for 300 naira 2024. I asked the question, how would people transport themselves during the Christmas celebrations? Nobody is saying anything. Do you know how much it costs to go from here to Lagos? Will people who live outside of their hometowns be able to go home to spend the Christmas celebrations with their family? Is the country really working to enable Nigerians to do better, or is there really a plan to impoverish the Nigerian people? This is a question for the federal government. This is a question for the Tinubu administration. And if you people have answers, please, I would like to hear them. If you want to be a part of this conversation, or you want to come here for an interview where you are at a place of power where you can explain some of these things to us, I encourage you to come to number 64 Ozubulu Street at Independence Layout, Enugu State, and come and have a conversation with us on High Voltage. Let's find out from you if you know how to fix this country, or you can defend some of the activities that are happening in this country at this point. Healthcare is zero. Education, zero. We've seen your budgets and you've made no plans at all. From the look of things, it doesn't look like the people were part of the budget that we have seen. But we're waiting for an official passing, and we would like to see that budget again and again so that we can debate on it, we can talk about it, and tell you where you really need to put the Nigerian people's funds and where we do need them. I would stop here today. I'll catch you again tomorrow morning on High Voltage. Comes to you every weekday, Mondays through Fridays, 9 a.m. till 10. Try your best to watch out for what's happening. Just like the governor of Abia State, Alex Oti, tried to encourage the young people. Listen to the news. Find out what is going on. Know the jobs of the people who are supposed to serve you in your constituencies, in your villages, in your local government. You have power. So don't stop talking. Don't be defeated, because the idea is to make you so hungry that you do not have the energy to fight back. You do not have the energy to question. So I'm encouraging you this morning to not drop your heart. Do not lose your faith. Stand strong and defend yourself with your voice and with your vote, and at any capacity that you can. All right, I'll come your way again tomorrow morning. Try to be good to yourself and to everyone else around you. Ask questions to your neighbors. Ask them how they are feeling, and try to be kind to anyone you can be kind to.